I'm out here assessing the fields to see when we're ready to terminate cover crops or to start getting it ready for planting. It is currently March, and what I'm looking for, we've had some heavy rains, is I'm looking for standing water. By the way, I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead. And so when assessing these fields, they don't have to be perfectly flat. And so we've got a nice little paddock here. But we do need to be aware about standing water in any areas where the water is not, again, slowing and spreading out. So you can see there's some standing water here, standing water there. That can start compaction of the soil. You can start acidification of the soil. Now this upper part's kind of dry, looks pretty good, but we can see that there's a big difference between how the cover crops have taken. So what I'm looking for, and I'm kind of building up a map in my head, is where do we need lime? Where do we need maybe some tillage to level a little bit? Where do we need to rake things out? Like, for example, this particular wet spot here kind of goes from where I'm standing to over there, is likely because there's a bump here. So if this bump came out, it'd probably dry out pretty good. Now down here, the cover crop, it's got other things in it. It's got a lot of biomass in it from previous chop and drops. And so we don't want to disturb this too much. But it's kind of sloping towards me here. So I'm just kind of walking around. I'm seeing there's radishes starting to kick up with the greens. I'm starting to see there's some bare spots. And again, I'm just building a map in my head of how we're going to address this area. Now this is a small area, a small paddock. If you're doing this for, like, 5-acre field, you do it with satellites. There's a lot of software and platforms that you can do to see this. You can put up a drone, take an aerial picture, and then superimpose it over top of a map and see exactly what's going on where. But again, it's the coloration, it's walking the field. Down here is just super good, except it's not a lot of nutrients. So down here, there's probably not a lot of clover in the soil. There's not a lot of clover in that grass that's there. It's actually more of the grass that comes from the walkways than the grass that is the cover crop. But then you can see that we start getting into peas. See, the pea cover is coming in really good here. And we're coming across to the wheat. Now, cover crops can be great indicators of soil health and soil biology. And we got a lot of Virginia red clay here, so it'll take a lot of carbon to get this clay where it needs to be. But again, if we can look at it and we can see, okay, well, we got a lot of peas coming in here, we got different kinds of grasses coming in over there, and we got even different kinds of grasses coming up here, we can kind of assess things a little better. So if I am going to use the tiller to terminate cover crops, because sometimes a field like this, you could flail mow it. If it's level enough, you can flail mow it at like a 1/4 inch and really just then put whatever's next in there. You can actually put in your seed first while it's all standing like this, and then flail it. And then a lot of times that seed will take. Or you can use the very shallow tillage like we've shown you in other videos to get this field ready. But this is probably, I don't have it out on a map, but this is maybe 5,000 square feet. And we want to get it growing as best we can. Now, whether this is your whole garden or this is one paddock in a larger garden, you want to, again, walk it regularly. You want to walk it after a rain, after it hasn't rained in a while. You want to do comparisons between, our access points that simply get mowed versus our areas that get cover crops, and they get minor tillage. They don't actually get deep tillage unless we're doing earthworks. But ultimately, you can see the big difference between the two areas. Now, this is our baby field down here. This is our newest paddocked area. And what I'm starting to see is that we can probably expand this a little bit more because our driving access points are a little wider than they need to be. But again, we don't have to expand it. We can get it established where it's at. See, it doesn't matter if you have a small garden or a big garden. You want to get it growing where it's at. Okay, so you don't have to force it into something it's not. So I want to show you here, we got a large amount of biomass. Let's see all that residual cover, or the residual crop residual. This particular field has had sun hemp in it before. It's had just let it grow crazy. And now this is a wheat coming along. Now we can let this wheat go all the way to maturity, and there's a couple sites that'll do that. But this field the clover didn't come up. Like, I know we sprayed clover in here, but the clover didn't really come up everywhere. So we might be able to flail mow it really short to get that clover to come up, get that nitrogen fixation going. But again, I do see pigeon peas, or these peas that are everywhere. They did come, so we got some nitrogen fixing. But again, we want to build this biomass up in the soil. We see the litter from the rabbits in here, and those are literally wood chips. We don't want to put those wood chips up underground by tilling. We want to keep them up near the surface in our topsoil layer, get the biology growing, keep them shaded so that the microbes and the worms can do their job. But we want to, again, monitor the field. So this particular field, we see a pretty consistent haze and green. But then down here, we see some kind of, it looks like a bunch of the little onion grasses are coming in. And it doesn't really take the grass much. So this is probably more acidic soil, a little bit more compacted soil. So I might till through here a little bit heavier, or may put kind of a lime in. Now you can see where we disturbed for this wall down here, and I'll walk right up on it so you can see it. So you can see how it steps off, and the grass is really nice there. That's just going to get mowed. We're not going to bother tilling. Again, when we do these earthworks, forever how high the earthwork is, twice that length going back can't be tilled. It has to mature. It has to get packed in, and until we do that, we want to keep cover crops and grasses on it. So we could throw another seasonal cover crop inside with this particular cover crop, and then flail mow it, and then let it grow again. Just let it keep growing and mowing and that kind of thing. But we don't want to grow and mow to end up with what's down there. See, what's down there has just been mowed and mowed and mowed, and it's actually starting to get compacted, and it doesn't have a lot of nutrient value in it. It doesn't have the surface biomass that we're looking for. So what we would probably do here is get a cover in, deep rooted cover, soil stability cover. Then we would take the grasses off of it and use them up here as mulch. And then we would come back here and just mow it like once or twice a year. But again, we're walking through our areas and we're looking for patches, and we're trying to get our paddocks as consistent as possible. So I'm on a lower paddock here that needs some work, but it's good enough right here to get a shallow tillage through, put in some more cover crop, or to interseed cover crop. And now, of course, again, if this is a big field, you are going to do this with equipment. In our case, we're doing it by hand. We would use the kind of just broadcast the new seed in. I like to pelletize seed by rolling it in clay. I've been told that's not as necessary, but we could just throw some seed in here. Make sure it gets good soil contact by either crimping down the top or by flail mowing the top and letting that biomass fall to the ground. But as long as that seed set grows faster than what's here, we'll start filling in some of the blanks. And ultimately you get more and more of this just kind of crop residual in here, which it protects the soil, builds up the organic matter, starts to give us more, humus in the soil, more better nutrient uptake. So, but a field is not just, it's not just what grows in it. It's the soil biology that we're concerned about. Because if we get the soil biology right, we'll get an abundance of biomass. The abundance of biomass will feed the soil biology. The soil biology will make nutrients available to the plants that we want to harvest. And the cycle continues. The cycle improves. And we get results. So I'm going to continue walking the fields down here. Because we're not necessarily going to till everything. There's some stuff at the top that you'll see in another video that's been broad forked. It looks really good. Oh my gosh, look at all the peas around here. Now again, each of these plants are fixing different things in the soil. They're putting root mass in the soil. They're capturing carbon from the atmosphere and putting it in the soil. And so if we do a deep tillage, all that stuff's got to come out. And that deep tillage is anything deeper than 3 to 6 inches. Because again, we got the layers of the soil. We've got the topsoil on the top that we're retaining. It takes hundreds of years to produce the topsoil. So we just want to keep layering on top of that organic material. and then not burying the organic material or the carbonous material, because then it'll suck nitrogen out of the soil that we can't use to create and grow more biomass. Anyway, I think I'm gonna eat some of these pigeon peas before I leave, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll cover some of the stuff that's been broad forked. And by the way, you could broad fork this whole field. That's fine too. If you have questions, visit www.prosperityhomestead.org. I'll see you in the next video.